Good morning. Yes, roll call, please.
Assemblywoman Hanlon, Assemblyman Carroll, Assemblywoman Gove,
Here.
Assemblyman Calabrese, here. Assemblywoman Jones, here. Assemblywoman Mascara, Assemblyman Giblin, here. Assemblyman Karabinchak, here. And Chairwoman Jacey.
Here. I'd like to begin this morning with A5751. Assemblyman Benson, would you like to come forward and speak? Okay, you want to take a seat? Okay.
You have amendments on your packet to this bill. Assembly number 5751. As amended, this bill supplements the fiscal year 2020 Appropriations Act to make an additional appropriation of $250,000 from the general fund to Rutgers University, New Brunswick for the School of Dental Medicine Special Care Treatment Center.
Thank you, Assemblyman. And I read a very compelling article last night about why this bill is important and the need for dentists trained to deal with patients who have special needs. So I thank you for bringing it forward. Are there any comments or questions from committee members? Yes, Assemblyman Carroll.
I have no objection whatsoever to spending money on dentists. But if Rutgers has $20 million to spend on a football coach, we don't have to give them any more.
Madam Chair.
I'm going to hold my comment on that one. Oops, yes. Assemblywoman.
Green. Thank you. I just want to congratulate the sponsor and our chairwoman for posting the bill. One question, when I did read the material, which is definitely compelling, it only indicated that they would be able to provide one more dentist?
Yeah, our hope is to reduce wait times. They can go as between 6 to 9 months for service. By having an additional person, not only will that increase the number of patients that can be seen, actually it increases the amount of reimbursement from insurance companies as well, so that brings in additional dollars. Our hope, as that grows, they'll be able to add more on their own down the line, and maybe even we can talk about other locations too. But this is a start. Obviously, we're not trying to spend, we probably could spend more here, and it's probably needed, but I think this is a good start to make sure we have at least one more practitioner that'll provide more care, reduce those wait times, and we can assess what more need there may be.
Sounds like they'll be cut in half, is the belief.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Oh, I need to acknowledge a couple of people who were here. John Fuller from Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield, in favor, no need to testify. Evan Spivak, Rutgers School of Dental Medicine. Would you like to speak? Okay. Please come forward and sit next to the Assemblyman. Give us your name and your position for the record.
Thank you. My name is Evan Spivak. I'm a dentist.
Can you make sure your button is on there?
Oh,
there you go. The red is on.
Never knew much about the technology. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Assembly of Higher Education Committee, for considering A5751. And thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this morning in support of what really is truly important legislation. The special care treatment centers existed within the dental school for approximately 25 years, perhaps a bit more of that. It's a tertiary care center, and our charge is the oral care of perhaps some of the most complex patients behaviorally and medically that there are within the state of New Jersey. Our primary patient population is persons with developmental disabilities, primarily those with Down syndrome, with cerebral palsy, with autism. However, we also see patients with the full range of disabilities, whether it's sensory, whether it's other medical issues, whether it's other psychiatric or psychological issues. And we also see a significant portion of the geriatric population, primarily dwelling within the nursing homes and within the community as well. This population that deserves care, needs care, and unfortunately very often is unable to really get care, and certainly get care in a timely fashion has been something that's been extraordinarily difficult. The patients that we see present with a host of challenges. Intellectual disabilities wreak havoc with the mouth, they wreak havoc with the oral hygiene. The inability to care for yourself physically makes it impossible in many cases for our patients to effectively brush their teeth or even allow others to brush their teeth to maintain their oral hygiene. Their diets become very, very problematic as well. Many of our patients are taking multiple medications, and sometimes the list of number of medications that a patient may take can run to several pages. And significant numbers of these medications, many of these medications are going to cause significant problems with the mouth, and they're going to lead to real problems that we do see. These problems don't just affect the health of our patients, but they can even affect the mortality of our patients. Many of the medical situations that we see reflect from dental situations, and they can lead to death as well. It's our responsibility to restore these patients to their oral health and hopefully affect their physical health as well. Our staff consists at present of 4 dentists, a hygienist, 4 dental assistants, and 2 front desk staff as well. We function as part of the overall dental school, and as such, a large part of what we do is related to the educational training of our dentists and the training of them to the idea that they are going to graduate and then go out to provide care to this population outside of the school, outside of institutional setting as well. And this is something that we really, really consider really a co-mission of ours along with the patient care mission. We feel it's very, very important to create this workforce, make sure that we've got a workforce ready and able and willing, even more so, to care for this patient population. This year, the Special Care Treatment Center provided over 4,600 patient visits. We saw over 2,000 discrete individuals with a broad spectrum of disabilities. And this number accounts really only a very, very small number of patients with disabilities in New Jersey. That number is large. That number is growing significantly. And that number will continue to grow as the years progress. Our waiting time is significant as well. Our waiting time is 2 months to get into our center, which is a very long time. And for those patients who require care in the operating room, that wait will extend to 2 years and perhaps even over 2 years, except for the most urgent of cases. And trying to juggle those patients to make sure that we're dealing with the most serious issues first, to make sure that we're effectively avoiding pain, avoiding infection is really our priority. It's something that we take very seriously, and it's very, very difficult for us and for our staff to accomplish. We see a lot of our patients coming in who have been turned away from other dental venues. They have pain, they have infection, they have the whole mindset of someone who's been rejected over and over and over again, and they really do require care. I strongly urge you support. I strongly urge you support of 5751. Funding granted would go towards a hire of additional dentists and dental assistants to allow our program to see more patients in the school and in the operating room, and most importantly, it will significantly cut our time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your testimony. And Assemblyman Giblin, would you like to move the? Thank you. Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Okay, we can do one vote on the bill as a...
Sorry.
Okay. Assemblywoman Hanlon?
Your mic.
Okay, just turn on.
As I said, I think it's a fabulous program. I've actually heard of it from my own dentist, and I wish you the very best with it. But as Assemblyman Carroll just pointed out, it seems to me that, we all ought to be somewhat skeptical about requests for more and more and more money from a university that seems to be able to find millions of dollars to do everything but, academics and these kinds of wonderful community services. So, I ask for your understanding as I vote no.
Assemblyman Carroll?
If this were offset with a cut from some other Rutgers program, I would have no problem with it. I think it's a good program, but I don't think Rutgers needs any more money. This is a matter of their priorities. The money should come out of their present budget. I vote no.
Assemblywoman Gove?
I have to reiterate what my colleagues have said. It's a great program. My heart goes out. It's a great program. I know people who have disabled children and how difficult it is for them, and they have the financial needs to take care of it, their child. Well, it's an adult, I should say, but it's still their child. But anyhow, again, I look at it with the money part. My mind boggles me for this, even though it's not a lot of money. But again, it's priorities, and I would think that should be number one priority over some other issues. I have to vote no as well. But again, please, it's a great program.
Councilman Calabrese. Councilwoman Jones. Councilwoman Mascara. Councilman Giblin. Councilman Karabinchak. And Chairwoman J.C.
Yes. Thank you. Next up, I see Assemblyman Swain here. Tully here? Tully, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the paper and looking at you.
Okay.
The New Jersey Fair Play Act.
You have amendments in your packet to this bill as well. Assembly number 5863. As amended, this bill allows certain collegiate student athletes to earn compensation for the use of their name, image, or likeness. Under the bill, a four-year institution of higher education will be prohibited from holding any rule, requirement, standard, or other limitation that prevents a student of that institution participating in intercollegiate athletics from earning compensation as a result of the use of the student's name, image, or likeness. Earning compensation from the use of the student's name, image, or likeness will not affect the student's institutional scholarship eligibility.
Sure. Good morning. Good morning, Chairman. First of all, thank you so much for holding a hearing today on this important piece of legislation. The New Jersey Fair Play Act represents a long overdue action on an important issue that has been left unaddressed for far too long. Everyday student athletes generate massive amounts of values for their schools, leagues, the NCAA, and for their profit partners. Billions of dollars in revenue go to schools and to the NCAA for the group that works and sacrifices the most to generate that value. Student athletes do not see a single penny. According to the National College Players Association, Division I athletic revenue has increased 328% between 2003 and 2017. Head coach pay has increased by 246% during that same time. In New Jersey, athletic revenues reported by schools have increased from $47 million to $155 million between 2003 and 2017. The salaries of our coaches have more than doubled, while overall student athlete participation has actually fallen during that time and that same period. Yet while continually growing their profits, the NCAA and other partners have only recently focused on the welfare of student athletes. And while we appreciate the efforts of the NCAA to respond to state-level action across the country, we must make sure that we continue to maintain pressure on the NCAA to create a workable framework for student athletes. The New Jersey Fair Play Act, which will allow student athletes to finally capitalize on the value they generate with their play and their brands, creates that framework and finally corrects the fundamental imbalances that have existed in collegiate athletes for far too long. Success in this country has always been based on the fundamentals of capitalism, as well as strong labor movements and organizations. Yet the current NCAA student-athlete structure subverts these values. The only group of students that sign away their right to earn compensation during their time in college are student athletes. Meanwhile, if you excel in the arts or technology or any other field, you face no prohibition against leveling your brand to generate income. So when you hear far too often of the stories of student athletes and the time that they give away from their families and their lives and being unable to either starvation or not being able to pay their bills or pay rent, the inability to afford a meal or groceries, these imbalances are exposed and plainly unjust. This act, at long last, puts interests of these student athletes on par with the interests of the institutions involved in collegiate athletics, correcting fundamental injustices that have existed for decades, leveling the playing field for New Jerseyans. I ask you, Chairwoman J.C., the esteemed committee members, to join me in this fight for fairness in our great state. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblyman. Are there any questions for the Assemblyman? Yes, we'll start with Assemblywoman Egan-Jones.
Okay, thank you. They will not forfeit any scholarships or anything given by the institution for whom they attend.
That is not the intent of this legislation, no.
Correct. who's going to monitor how much they earn, which clearly could offset the fact that they now do not need the support that they were getting from the institution?
So sorry, repeat that question. You're looking for, does this legislation establish who's going to monitor how much? The intent of the legislation is to allow a student athlete to
Earn money.
earn money through whatever it could be, like an endorsement for like a local car dealer or anything like that. So
I get that part.
Yeah. So there is no. Are you asking if there's going to be a cap? Because there is no plan for any kind of cap or anything like that. You're just looking for a monitor. You're looking for what exactly is going to be overseeing that.
Well, we want to make sure that revenues are freed up in all our institutions for students who need the support. So if we're allowing, and in some instances, some of these young athletes will be earning a lot of money. There's a lot of money thrown around constantly for athletic people. We see it all the time, from the professional sports to our college sports, et cetera.
Potentially, most student athletes, that's like the small percentage that you're speaking of. Like most student athletes are not ever going to see those professional million-dollar contracts.
So nobody really is going to be making sure that a student athlete isn't earning so much money that they should forfeit any scholarship dollars they're getting for playing.
No, there's absolutely no intention to forfeit any scholarship.
That's
Correct.
the answer.
Gotcha.
Assemblywoman Go.
So, just as Am I okay? I should learn this by now. And I'm sorry for jumping in, but again, what the Assemblywoman said, so if they're making thousands of dollars, they're still getting their scholarship through the university.
The revenues that athletes receive are not tied to the scholarship or to the schools.
So that's what she's asking.
Yes.
So that student could be making much more money than what the scholarship is. They could pay for that. They would be able to subsidize their own education.
Sure, there is that potential depending on how much they earn.
While I have it, can I just ask one question?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
ahead.
I mean, the school, I think that if I'm thinking of legislation correctly, the schools do have the ability to review the contracts as well.
Oh, okay.
So that is in the legislation.
That's a big point.
Gotcha. We got that.
How many, if we did it like today, how many students with this involved in the state of New Jersey as of today, 2019?
That's a question I could not answer. I mean, it really depends because it's so new. I really couldn't tell you, but I think it goes from, and I think a lot of times what you're looking at is it could be the star athlete who could potentially earn a lot, but I'm also looking at somebody it could be like someone in a soccer program or a fencing program or anything like that just gets a local car dealership or just has a local sponsorship somewhere within their community because they happen to be known. This could affect a lot of student athletes, not just potentially top tier.
Assemblyman Giblin and then Assemblywoman Muscara.
Assemblyman, is this legislation been introduced in other states?
California.
California?
Correct.
And do you have any feedback about how it's working?
It's still very new, but a lot. This really comes down to it's a labor rights issue as well, and the feedback that we've been hearing from California, which again it has just been instituted, so I can't give you a year's worth analysis of what it's done, but the feedback has been very positive, and obviously the NCAA has responded.
What's their position on it?
I'm sorry?
What's the position of the NCAA on this?
Well, the NCAA has actually answered in the sense that they are now instituting this nationwide because of the response and because of legislation that's been going on here in California. So, again, I think it's important that this legislation moves and goes through the state of New Jersey just to make sure that the NCAA actually goes through with it and is a good partner that takes care of their student athletes.
And what's the timeline?
The time of any legislation.
No, I mean implementation. I think.
I would hope if
it's over a period of time. It's not immediate.
Correct. It would take a certain amount of time for anything like this to move forward.
Is there any issue of disclosure by the athlete?
I mean, everything has to be reviewed by the college, or can be reviewed by the college, so it would be disclosed in that sense.
Well, one of my kids got a full ride to college. And getting back on the point that was raised, I wouldn't want to see a situation where, in fact, they got compensation that exceeded the cost of that scholarship by a considerable degree, and then another young athlete is deprived of a scholarship, if you get the gist of what I'm trying to...
I understand.
So, I mean, how do we prevent something like that? You know, I mean, some of you say, hypothetically, drawing $100,000 compensation, and that far exceeds the cost of the scholarship is, you know, is there any way to kind of prevent something like that?
I mean, I guess that's why we're here in committee now to go over those questions. Again, this is a...
I believe you said that the college has the...
They have the right to review, so the college can review this and make those determinations.
Well, how are they going to find out about it?
Well, if the college has the ability to review any endorsements or contracts, then they would know.
So the way, okay. Answer my questions.
Thank you. Assemblywoman Mascara?
Thank you, Assemblyman. Just a couple of questions.
Sure.
Number one, again, this is fairly new. I know this is fairly new in California, but would you happen to have an overall what a student athlete would be making?
I don't think there's any way to really determine that because it's based on the student athlete and obviously the particular interest in the sport and the person itself.
Okay. And then, thank you. And then question number two, is this just focused on, I didn't get a chance to read fully, or didn't say, I don't think, but is this focused on just Division I athletes or?
Well, this is anybody.
This is all
yes, this is all student athletes.
Okay.
So yeah, it could be something as simple as somebody who is a great high school athlete who stayed locally here in New Jersey, and a local car dealer in that community just wants to do some kind of endorsement deal, but now he could be at a Division III school here, and he's not allowed to do that. So this is a way to earn extra income for student athletes.
I understand that, but just when I asked that question, it was because I know that Rutgers University is at a different tier.
Yes, correct.
It's like they're the Division I tier, and I know that other colleges in the state are not. Like, for example, the school that I graduated on, I believe, it's been a while, but I know at the time when I was in school, the College of New Jersey was Division III. So...
Well, I was Division II too. I'm not speaking as a former student athlete. I was
no, I'm not a student athlete
through my wrestling career.
I'm not a student athlete either, but I just trying to figure out whether there's because I know that there's just different focuses there. Like for Division I school, there's always a heavy focus on the sports.
Yes.
Given the fact, again, what's going on in Rutgers, that's in the news today. So just asking that question. Thank you very much.
Of course, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. My understanding is that the NCAA is planning to promulgate regulations or recommendations around this in about a year. So why should we act now? Aren't we kind of jumping the gun? I mean, if we wait for a year, at least, which isn't all that long in legislature world, at least we can be in conformance with their own plans and directions.
Well, I think what this legislation ensures is that they remain a good actor in that intent. I mean, let's not be mistaken here. The reason the NCAA is actually even taking those actions is because of state legislation like this, because of legislation in California. They didn't just do this. They're doing this because states are acting. So California, New Jersey, we're going to be the first ones to act. So what they're doing is they're actually getting ahead of it, and they're instituting those over the next year. And I hope they do. I really hope they do. I hope they address it, and I hope it's fair, and I hope it's fair for student athletes. But I think the important thing is that they know that the state of New Jersey and other states in this nation are committed to actually fixing a lot of the problems when it comes to the welfare of student athletes. And that's why I think it's important that we continue to move forward.
Well, and I understand that, and it's a fine motivation and a noble motivation. But I'm just wondering, you talk about the states, there are 50 states, and you're saying we have one state, California, that has, moved in this direction. as I understand it, except for us, nobody else is rushing to do this. So, I don't know if there's this overwhelming pressure that the NCAA is, from state legislatures, that the NCAA is responding to. And I'm just saying, not that it's a bad idea at all, but I don't quite understand. What if we go ahead with this and then we find that what we've done is not in conformance with what the NCAA believes is best? Why
I would argue
doing it in the first
we would
place?
know. I would argue that our legislation it has the intent of what's best for the student athlete. And I think if you look at the history of the NCAA in a lot of these efforts, it's important that they know that states are willing to act. So the fact that only one state did it and they've already changed decades-long policy, I think speaks volumes.
If I may, apparently there are 15 other states that have pending legislation addressing this issue.
Okay, pending, but of course,
Like
we
we're
have no
pending.
idea whether,
Yes.
it'll move before 2021, which is when the NCAA will move. Okay, again, I just remain somewhat skeptical that the NCAA, cares a whole lot, what we do today, but maybe I'm wrong. So, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Assemblyman.
Assemblyman Carroll,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
and then Assemblyman Giblin.
I will confess that I do share many of your concerns about, for example, coaches' salaries. I'm not sure this is the right response to it, and specifically, Section 2 of this, or Section 1 of this bill says very specifically that an athlete who is now freed up to earn whatever he or she can from most kinds of endorsements, although I found the list of exceptions to be kind of interesting, actually, will not have their scholarship eligibility affected no matter what they're earning. So a person, let's say, for example, a phenom, I don't know that Rutgers has any, but let's assume that they do, who makes $1 million a year from endorsement for sneakers, nonetheless is still getting a full ride from Rutgers. Is that fair?
Excuse me, I think that issue was already addressed in that the college is able to review.
Bill says very specific. An institutional scholarship shall not be considered compensation for the purposes of this act, and a scholarship shall not be revoked as a result of a student earning compensation or obtaining professional representation. So the language in the bill is clear that you cannot use the income that a person makes on endorsements for the purposes of affecting that person's scholarship. So if you get a full boat to Rutgers and making $1 million a year, you still keep that full boat to Rutgers. And that's objectionable. There's a lot of people out there who don't have the money to go to Rutgers, and I don't think athletes, I'm not big on athletic scholarships as a general rule as it is. Objection to letting athletes earn what they can. But this bill says that there's going to be no exception, that no matter how much you earn, you still get that full ride. And that is objectionable.
Again, Assemblyman, respectfully, the college has the ability to review. And again, respectfully, the intent of this legislation is to make sure that we're addressing the entire pool of student athletes who for far too long have not had the ability to monetize and receive anything for the hard work that they put in. Yet, a lot of colleges and institutions across this nation are making millions and millions of dollars off of their backs.
I understand that, but again, the intent of the bill is expressed in its language, and the language is clear that a scholarship cannot be revoked no matter what an athlete earns, and I find that to be problematic in the extreme.
Thank you, Assemblyman. Assemblyman Giblin.
I think you recognize, Assemblyman Tully, that, the student athletes are, I guess you'd call them role models. So many people younger probably look up to them. And I'm wondering about the issues, for example, of endorsements, say, for, Jack Daniels, Bud Light, vaping.
There are exceptions on.
There are restrictions.
There are those restrictions. And I guess I would say, Assemblyman, especially on some of those points too. What about if a student wants to start a business and wants to talk about his career as a college athlete while a student? I mean, I think when you're getting into that, this is actually what this doesn't do is it doesn't try to impose those limits. And I think
As the chair, I agree with the policy. I mean, I think freeing up athletes is a great, or to anybody to go. I mean, after all, we didn't restrict what Bill Gates was making back when he was working in college, or what who did Facebook? I don't even remember his name. Zuckerberg. And it's he was starting to make money hand over fist while he was still in college. And assuming he'd been on a scholarship, he would have been allowed to do it. It didn't make any difference. I understand that, but it seems to me that the specific statement in this bill, which restricts you or restricts the institution from withdrawing aid, which could better be used for, say, for example, a calculus scholarship, when a person who is making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars off of endorsements is a bit problematic. And again, I understand what your intent is, but that's not what the bill says.
Any other questions or comments? All right, and I'm going to ask you to be brief because we have a very long agenda today. Assemblyman Karavinchik and then Assemblywoman. And that'll be the final word.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I understand the intent of the bill, and I think what we're missing here is that there's thousands and thousands of athletes in all different disciplines, not just the NCAA. There's football, there's soccer, there's wrestling, there's cricket, and it goes on and on and on. And these athletes spend an enormous amount of time practicing for their sport, which then at the same time while they're practicing, they can't go find a second job to even live in their dormitories or wherever they live, off-site or wherever, in order to sustain beyond having their parents give them money. This is just another little way that's going to help the thousands and thousands of athletes here. We're talking about the 1% that's going to make a lot of money, that are exceptional athletes, that everybody's looking at to try to cultivate into the professionals. That, I would say, if the sponsor at some point in time would like to see it amended, that would be something that you could look at. But you can't lose the fact of the thousands of athletes that do participate and that don't go into a professional and become a professional. That's something that this bill addresses across the board, across the whole state of New Jersey, and every athlete in any sport that they're in. And I think this is a great idea. I think this helps an enormous amount of people. And the only thing I would ask to consider is that there would be some cap on the very high earners, because I do agree with a lot of the statements that have been here. I would not like to see somebody earning an enormous amount of money when that scholarship could be given to someone else that is truly in need. That's the only item that I see, but I believe that this helps thousands and thousands of athletes. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Would the sponsor consider having a conversation with members?
Of course, absolutely. That's why I'm here today, and that's why I wanted to make sure that we had this discussion. So absolutely willing to discuss anything, especially when it comes to that. And I understand the points of both assembly people. So thank you for that.
All right. Thank you. And Gregory Moore from the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference is opposed. Are you here?
Oh, no. Thank
Would
you
you like to testify? Assemblyman, would you stay there while this gentleman comes up?
Sure.
Yes.
You were going to take me out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Assemblywoman. Go ahead.
I'm on my second round. But I just wanted to reiterate what you just asked and what you just asked, to entertain language to amend the bill. As pointed out, it clearly doesn't give us any room to be able to withdraw a scholarship if somebody is earning. I agree with the intent of the bill, for sure, and will probably vote to release the bill predicated on your promise that you'll look at a floor amendment.
Absolutely.
Make that little change.
Sure.
So thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Chris.
Hello, and if you press your button, it'll turn red, which means you can be heard.
Great. Thank you.
I mean, respectfully, Assemblywoman, I am in health right now, so do you need me to answer any more questions, or or would you like me to stay?
Not as long as you're willing to entertain a floor amendment.
I'm willing to, absolutely. And we can talk. Everyone here has my cell phone. If you don't, you know how to get it, and I'm willing to talk to anybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Can you turn your mic off?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the Higher Education Committee. I'd like to thank this committee for according me the opportunity to share my views in connection with this very important issue. First, by way of background, my name is Gregory Moore. I currently serve as Commissioner of the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, It's a 106-year-old NCAA athletic conference consisting of 14 colleges and universities located in 6 states. As a proud son of the state of New Jersey, I was born in Newark, New Jersey, educated at New Jersey Public Elementary, junior high school, and high schools, and I'm a proud graduate of the College of New Jersey. I'm also a member of the New Jersey State Bar, who many years ago worked in this very building as an attorney with the Office of Legislative Services, or OLS. So in a very real sense, this is a bit of a homecoming for me. And although I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia, I still proudly consider myself a Jersey guy. Let me just say for the record, I do support this idea in the abstract, the idea of allowing student athletes to have the opportunity to monetize their name, images, and likenesses. As the economy of college sports continues to grow, the relationship between the economic value created by student athletes and the economic related benefits enjoyed by these athletes have become increasingly tenuous. And although the notion of directly compensating student athletes would be complicated, I do, however, believe permitting student athletes to monetize their name, images, and likenesses would be a constructive step to help facilitate a better equilibrium between the economic value created by student athletes and their ability to share in the value they create. However, as legislative bodies proceed down a path which is primarily focused on the 65 universities that are members of the so-called Power 5 conferences, the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, the Big 12, the Pac-12, I would respectfully urge legislators to proceed with great caution and circumspection, as there are an array of potential unintentional consequences that could undermine the fabric and integrity of intercollegiate athletics and negatively impact smaller colleges and universities, which represent the supermajority of the 1,100 Division I, II, and III NCAA member institutions. The American tradition of college sports is the most unique system in the world. College football Saturdays, homecomings, bowl games, March Madness, championship events at the Division I, II, and III levels galvanize communities across the country in ways that are quite distinct and different from professional sports leagues and organizations. Allowing students to monetize name, image, and likenesses should not come at the expense of these uniquely American traditions as a result of certain unintended consequences. For example, a critical distinction that differentiates college sports from professional sports relates to the issue of direct compensation of athletes. Obviously, within the context of professional sports, athlete compensation trigger very few of the concerns which student-athlete compensation might raise, perhaps relating to Title IX, or the unintentional creation of new class of employees, which could have tax, labor relations, and even perhaps collective bargaining implications. And although both the New Jersey bill and the California law explicitly prohibit colleges and universities from directly compensating student athletes, both this bill and the California law are silent with respect to prohibiting boosters or donors of a university from doing the same on behalf of the universities, camouflaged or disguised as a marketing agreement. In those situations, and in many instances, it would be nearly impossible to discern whether such arrangements were based on the real market value of a student-athlete's name, image, or likeness, or whether such arrangements were simply intended to serve as an illicit inducement to induce a student-athlete to attend a certain university, an arrangement which is illegal in many states. Further, as an NCAA conference commissioner, who does not represent any of the 65 so-called Power 5 institutions, but rather 14 smaller institutions which are far more representative of the more than 1,000 colleges and universities that are not in the high investment athletic departments, who don't enjoy 8-figure annual media rights distributions or appear on national TV on a regular basis. we must remain mindful of the potential impacts this bill could have on smaller colleges. For example, many small colleges are able to attract student athletes to our campuses because we're able to provide more opportunities to play right away. The lure of playing time could be diminished if more student athletes are able to leverage the platform which larger Division I schools could provide athletes to exploit their marketing rights. Conversely, for those student athletes which smaller schools are able to attract directly out of high school, an unfettered opportunity to monetize name, image, and likeness rights could serve as an additional carrot that larger schools could dangle to cherry-pick talent from smaller institutions. Both examples above could lead to an increased concentration of resources and athletic talent at high investment athletic programs at the expense of the supermajority of NCAA member institutions, which constitute its more than 1,100 members. For these and additional reasons, I urge the committee to proceed with great caution and work with intercollegiate thought leaders to ensure that the laws enacted are enacted in a manner that protects the integrity of college sports and mitigates the potential harmful impacts which the law could have on smaller colleges. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Would you provide us with a copy of your comments?
Sure.
I don't think we have them,
Sure.
right? And I will make sure that the sponsor receives them as well.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for this? Yes. Gentlemen?
Not having been a college athlete, the booster aspect never gave me, it didn't occur to me, but so in your opinion, for example, let's assume that Notre Dame were to make it known that every person who attended on an athletic scholarship would get a car for endorsing or as an endorsement from by endorsing a local dealership or what have you, and that was pretty well known. That would be permitted under the bill as you read it.
No, that's directly explicitly prohibited by both the New Jersey bill and the California law.
The booster club says any person who goes to Notre Dame on an athletic scholarship and plays football will get a contract with the local dealership, and in compensation will get a car. That would be fair under this bill?
As I read the bill, that would be fair, but it would be to me, I would look at that as a transparent attempt to circumvent the rules that prohibit inducements, direct payments to the athletes. So I think it would be subject to interpretation, and I think that would probably fall on the side of it be interpreted as an inducement for student athletes.
In your experience, because I've read some stories over the years about the, shall we say, efforts to evade rules and regulations by boosters. Is it your view that this bill is insufficiently specific as to how to avoid that?
Well, the truth of the matter is that, a lot of the efforts that are used to avoid, circumvent the bylaws are done by the schools themselves. And the boosters are used as agents to effectuate the circumvention of those rules. So, unfortunately, the colleges themselves, who are the subject of major infraction cases, are very actively involved in trying to circumvent the NCAA bylaws governing these affairs.
Presumably none of your members.
Well, at Division II level, the stakes aren't as high. You're looking at athletic departments that normally have a budget in the amount of $5 to $6 million. Division I institutions are looking at, particularly Power 5 institutions, between $80 and $200 million. So the stakes are much higher, which also raises the incentive to try to cut corners.
I'm going to exert my prerogative here and say that we need to end this conversation because we have a stack of bills to get through, and I have another committee meeting after this one. So I want to thank you very much, and we would very much appreciate a copy of your comments,
Will do.
which can be distributed to all the members of the committee.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you.
Roll call. Oh, motion. Motion. Second. Thank you.
Okay, we can do one vote on the bill as amended. Assemblywoman Hanlon? Abstain? I'm sorry. Okay. Senator Carroll?
Madam Chair, I'm not going to be around next semester to deal with this sort of stuff, but I do would say that this, again, calls to question our processes down here, where we get a bill and that's it. We get to vote yes or no. It seems to me that perhaps in the next semester, the chair might want to entertain the possibility of doing like congressional-style markup sessions whereby we go through the bill line by line and get to amend it where we are so that the committee actually does some law writing, because I think that would have solved a lot of the problems, or potentially solved a lot of the problems with the bill today. I will also abstain.
Thank you.
Senator Gove?
That was very eloquent. I can't speak like the assemblyman. But I too, if the intent is right there, but I just think there's too many unanswered questions. It's moving too quickly. Too many, I just see too many things that are not defined. So I'm abstaining also. I want to see things clear. Thank you.
Senator Calabrese? Senator Jones? Senator Mascara?
Also, I've looked at these, and I hope that the sponsor will consider amendments.
Senator Giblin?
Yes, with the same proviso, needs more work.
Senator Karabinchak?
Yes.
And Chairwoman J.C.
Yes, I think we're in agreement on that. All right. Next up, we will hear Assembly Bill 5702.
Yeah, and you have amendments in your packet to this one as well. As amended, this bill supplements the fiscal year 2020 Appropriations Act to make an additional appropriation of $1.7 million for Thomas Edison State University.
I don't think we have any, do we have? Is there anyone here who wishes to speak on this bill? I don't think so. Okay.
Madam Chair, if they don't show up, I think we should consider the bill. I'm not being hard-nosed, but I just think that if they're serious about the appropriation, the least they can do is make an attempt to show up.
Are you suggesting we hold the bill?
I just think you should. I just think we are entitled to a certain amount of courtesy as a committee.
Okay.
That's the school I'm from.
We can't hold it? No.
I second the motion.
Even though you won't be here next semester. You could be my aide, Michael. Okay.
Okay. All right, I'm going to table this for the moment, and we'll come back to it.
Okay.
All right. And what do we have?
5345.
5345.
You have amendments in your packet to this bill as well. And we have the Senate counterpart. Assembly number 5345. As amended, this bill establishes a scholarship program entitled the New Jersey Accessing Careers in Engineering and Science ACES program in order to increase the participation of underrepresented students in the state's STEM workforce. The Secretary of Higher Ed will select up to 7 public or independent research universities in New Jersey to implement the ACES program. The ACES program will consist of 2 components. 1, a residential pre-college summer program for selected high school students who attend a partner high school, and 2, an undergraduate ACES Scholar program. Students who participate in the ACES program must be a member of an underserved community or a member of a group that is underrepresented in the STEM fields.
Okay. Do we have anybody on this one?
5345, I think.
We're drowning in paper here.
Yes. Yeah, here's a bunch.
Okay. Okay. We have a number of people who have signed up. Michael Edgerton, State Chamber of Commerce, in favor, no need to testify. Thank you. Barbara DeMarco, representing Girls Who Code. And if any of you don't know about that program, it's fantastic. In favor, would you like to comment? Okay, I'm going to ask you to keep your comments to 2 minutes, please. Thank you. And you'll be followed by, let's see. Oh, wait. Deborah Berkeley from Stevens Institute, do you need to testify? You're in favor? No? Yes. Then come up and take a seat next to Barbara. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Good morning, and thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of Girls Who Code. They are an international organization addressing gender disparities in technology globally and coding specifically. To give you an idea what those disparities look like, 10% of the workforce right now is tech-oriented. 8% of our workforce in New Jersey is tech-oriented, yet only less than 25% of those tech jobs are held by women. In 1995, that figure was 40%. My question to you is, why is that number going down? And when legislation like this comes about, we applaud the whole purpose of trying to get underrepresented demographic groups involved in technology. However, when we look at the women-specific issues, we have to be concerned. Only 26.3% of high school AP computer science classes have seats open for women, and less than 4% of them are women of color holding those seats. These percentages show you that gender-specific issues need to have a greater focus. We applaud the bill because it does have a strong component for mentoring. We believe that you can't be what you don't see, and we need more female mentors. It's critical. So as we look to public policy in the future, we hope we inspire young women to enter these non-traditional career verticals, and we look forward to working with you going forward for the next 2 years in legislation that will make it very apparent that we do have a problem with gender disparity and we need to address it. Thank you.
Thank you, and I like that expression. Can't be what you don't see. Yes, come up, ladies. Please introduce yourself and who you represent.
Madam Chairwoman, we're both from Stevens Institute of Technology, and we're a pair today in support of this bill, if you'll indulge us in speaking together. Thank you very much. Good morning, Chairwoman Jacey, Vice Chair Karabenchek, who we appreciate as one of the co-sponsors of this bill, along with Assemblyman Giblin and Assemblyman Calabrese. Good morning, members. I'm Beth McGrath, Vice President of Government and Community Relations at Stevens Institute of Technology. I'm here with my colleague, Dean Deborah Berkeley, and we're here to thank you for considering A5345, which establishes a program to increase the participation of underrepresented minority students in STEM programs in New Jersey's institutions of higher education in order to prepare them for jobs that are critical for New Jersey's economic future. We're here in strong support of A5345. The bill describes the scale-up and components of a program implemented at Stevens Institute of Technology known as ACES, Accessing Careers in Engineering and Science. In its first year of implementation, ACES resulted in a 60% increase in the percentage of underrepresented minority students in an intensive pre-college summer residential STEM program. This can be thought of as a feeder program, and a 46% increase in the percentage of URM students in the freshman cohort at Stevens. Second-year results continue these impressive trends, a 50% and a 29% increase, respectively, in URM students in pre-college and undergraduate cohorts over the baseline year. These students are experiencing early success. 97% of ACES students persisted from freshman to sophomore year with an average GPA of 3.22. So in order to ensure that we achieve both aspects of New Jersey's economic vision, a stronger and fairer economy, it's important for our state's institutions of higher education, along with business and industry and the public sector, to work together to produce a high technology workforce that is representative of the diversity of the state. Growing New Jersey's innovation economy will rely on a strong and diverse talent pool in fields such as the life sciences, financial technology, digital media, cybersecurity, computer science, and engineering. Institutions that offer degrees in these disciplines, including those in the independent and public research institutions, would be well positioned to contribute to this effort. An important element of the New Jersey ACES initiative is a three-way partnership, which can be characterized as a shared investment by New Jersey's institutions of higher education, New Jersey's corporate sector, and the state of New Jersey. By participating in this program, universities, along with the corporate sector, will have their own skin in the game, providing a 2-to-1 match in institutional and philanthropic support for every dollar that the state of New Jersey will contribute. So in closing, I wish to highlight 3 key points. There's a significant gap, as you've heard, in the participation of underrepresented minorities in the STEM workforce in New Jersey and nationwide. This program is a direct response to this chronic problem and an investment in preparing the future workforce that will drive New Jersey's economic growth. Number 2, in addition to educational support, mentoring, career guidance, and a number of other supports, philanthropic support, scholarship support is really what makes it possible to boost these numbers. That's been a critical element of the ACES program, and one that we hope by generating additional buy-in from the state, the institutions can go to the corporate sector and really leverage the state support to expand this program. Lastly, it's important to underscore that the ACES program will provide a catalyst effect, this 2-to-1 multiplier effect of state funds. Thank you for your consideration of A5345. We respectfully request your support, and I want to ask my colleague Deb Berkeley to talk about the impact on the students very briefly. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairwoman JC and members of the committee. As Beth said, my name is Deborah Berkeley. I am the Dean for Student Development Enrichment Programs at Stevens. I manage our EOF program, I manage our STEP program, and now I am managing the Stevens Initiative. So I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to speak about ACES and the impact that it's having on the students. But I'm going to try and present it to you from what I've heard from the students who have been involved in this program. The initiative has been a win for all the parties. The students, the high schools, and Beth mentioned that we have partnerships. We partner with eight schools in Hoboken, Jersey City, Newark, West New York, and Paterson. If I was forced to select one sentiment which would capture the meaning of the ACES initiative, it would be life-changing. The students of the initiative who participated in the ACES initiative demonstrate the potential to succeed in a STEM-related undergraduate major and a STEM career. But more often than not, these are the students who are not given the opportunity to explore where the potential could lead them or to take advantage of the opportunities to develop that potential. For most of my professional career, I've been working with students from backgrounds like those of the ACES students, low-income students, underrepresented minorities, students from under-resourced communities, and first-generation students. And I can tell you that these experiences make a difference. And when our current undergraduates who did not participate in ACES, but learn about ACES and ask how they can get involved, how they can help, or how their former high schools can become partners with us, we know that we're on the right track. But I think the students themselves really tell the story. And of course, I don't have all time to tell you everything that's said, so I've picked out a few quotes. One student, a senior from Hoboken High School, said, "I think it is very important that all students get equal opportunity, and the ACES program allows those who are underrepresented to get that opportunity. Without the scholarship for ACES, I would not have been able to attend the pre-college program, and the program prepared me for my future in so many ways."
When you say pre-college, is that while the student was still in high school?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
In fact, when the students speak of their involvement with the program, their enthusiasm and gratitude for the experience comes shining through. With the Stevens ACES initiative, the high school students don't just visit the campus, they don't just have high school campus visit, but they get to spend a week or 2 weeks experiencing the life of a college student. They begin to see the connection between their academic preparation, their technical interest, and the possibility of a career in the related field. And interacting daily with students who look like them, or who are from similar backgrounds is an unexpected bonus for the students. During the summer, the students participate in SAT prep courses, career presentations, go to visit companies. And as one high school participant observed, it is not hard for thoughts of scores, cost, essays, majors, and future career paths to plague the minds of students seeking higher education. But going through this program helped put it into perspective for her. Their summer experience is followed by additional support during the academic year. They are able to participate free of charge in a wide range of programs and events, including but not limited to professional development seminars, either at Stevens or at their home schools. And additionally, we make sure and invite them to our annual Innovation Fair Expo, which is our capstone event for the graduating seniors. So they get to see what they are working towards. And at the college level, we do provide substantial financial aid because these are the students who would be interested in Stevens but may not necessarily be able to come to Stevens. And as Beth mentioned, we've seen a great increase in the number of students we've been able to recruit. ACES is now in its second year. And one of the quantifiable indicators is statistics. They're very important. But I think it's very important, too, that we do not lose sight of what our president calls the social impact of the program. Counselors at the high schools that students are coming from have told us that they've already observed changes in their students. Their increased confidence, their increased focus, increased interest in STEM, in pursuing post-secondary education, and of course, interest in Stevens. That's an added bonus. In fact, some of the counselors want to explore expanding and deepening the relationship with us to help their students become more college ready. And we are also frequently approached by other high schools requiring to become partners with us. I will end with a quote from a student from Science Park High School, who was one of the last students to get the scholarship, who had already had a summer job lined up, but she rescheduled her summer job to accept the opportunity to come to the pre-college program. When asked about the impact on her, she says, "The question of whether ACES can impact me is inapplicable because ACES has impacted me already. Being part of ACES has already given me an experience unmatched by other programs I have participated in. I've learned a lot about myself and cemented some of the not-so-fleeting thoughts I consider regarding my future. In continuing to impact me personally, I think ACES maintaining an open line of communication because we continue to work with them during the academic year and continue to provide opportunities to get to know ourselves and others, not necessarily through another pre-college program, can be effectual in ways I probably would not be able to know now. So the Stevens ACES initiative touches the lives of only a small percentage of the high school students who can benefit from it. But a statewide ACES initiative can make a difference in the lives of so many other students. So thank you very much.
Thank you for that. And it is exciting, and I wish we had more time to, this is a subject we could spend a whole meeting on.
I could talk a lot about it.
But colleagues, do you have any questions or comments for our speakers? Seeing none, motion? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. 5345. Okay. We have David Rousseau, no need in favor, no need to testify. Montclair State University in favor, no need to testify. Ryan Isabella Green, Biomedical Engineering Society in favor, no need to testify. And Rowan University representative in favor, no need to testify. Did I miss anybody? All right. Motion? Second? Thank you. Roll call?
Again, we'll do one vote on the bill as amended, and then we have the Senate counterpart. So Assemblywoman Hanlon. Assemblywoman Gove.
Yes.
Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblywoman Jones.
Yes.
Assemblywoman Mascara.
Yes.
Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabenchak.
Yes.
Chairwoman Jacey.
Yes.
Okay, now let's do the Senate. 3685, same film. One vote on the bill as amended. Seaman Hanlon. Seaman Gove.
Yes.
Seaman Calabrese. Seawoman Jones. Seaman Mascara.
Yes.
Seaman Giblin.
Yes.
Seaman Karabinchak. And Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. The bill passes. The bill is released. Yes. If you'd like that entered, yes. Thank you so much for coming and for your testimony.
Just give me 1 second. Where are we now? 385.
385.
Okay. Okay. 3853. I got it. Okay. Assembly Bill number 3853. This bill establishes a loan redemption program in HESA to allow a teacher to redeem a portion of his NJ class loan amounts for service as a teacher in a high-need field in a chronically failing school in New Jersey. The Senate one is 1831. Do you think I do one?
3851.
We're on 3853.
Yes. This
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone?
On 3853, Fran Pfeffer in favor from NJEA. In favor, no need to testify. Jonathan Pushman, New Jersey School Boards Association. In favor, no need to testify. Rutgers University, Gloria Soto. In favor, no need to testify. And Mike Wallace from NJBIA. In favor, no need to testify. Do I have a motion?
Motion to move.
Second? Thank you.
Someone Hanlon? What's it? Someone Hanlon? Oh, she took that. Okay. Someone Carroll? Yes. Someone Gove?
Yes.
Someone Calabrese? Someone Jones? Someone Mascara? Someone Giblin?
Yes.
Someone Karabinchak?
Yes.
Chairwoman J.C.?
Yes.
Now we'll do the Senate, 1831 1R. Someone Carroll? Someone Gove?
Yes.
Someone Calabrese? Someone Jones? Someone Mascara? Someone Giblin?
Yes.
Someone Karabinchak? And Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot of paperwork.
Thank you. Give us a moment. There's a lot of paper up here. Next up is
4843. Okay.
A4853 and two of the
4843.
43, I'm sorry.
2303 2R. All right. Okay.
And two of the sponsors are here on the dais.
Okay, let me just read this. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, Assembly Bill number 4843, you have amendments in your packet for this one. And we have it's Assembly 4843, and then the Senate counterpart is 2303, the 2R version. Yeah, we're all over. So, okay. All right,
I know,
so,
the numbers don't make any sense.
A4843, as amended, this bill requires a county college and a county vocational school district to enter in a work and learn consortium for the purpose of creating certificate and degree programs that lead to employment in industries in which there is a high demand for qualified employees.
All right, we have 4843, right?
Yep.
Okay. Michael Edgerton, State Chamber of Commerce, in favor, no need to testify. Jonathan Pushman, in favor, no need to testify. Kyle Holder, New Jersey Builders Association, in favor, no need to testify. And Mike Wallace from NJBIA, In favor, no need to testify.
Yes.
Would the sponsors like to make comments on the bill? Assemblyman Karabinchik.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Just really briefly, this is a bill that is going to give opportunity for students both in county colleges and VOTEX to team up with different businesses. And also, we're addressing the business industry in New Jersey or what their needs are for people who graduate that could come right into their workforce. This is an exceptional bill that we're tied in with labor, we're tied in with community colleges and our VOTEX, and we're tied in with businesses. You have all of the three factors that are driving factors in New Jersey for our skilled workers and our businesses to keep them thriving. This helps keep the people who graduate colleges here and also produces a workforce for our businesses here. This is a great collaboration of everything going on at the same time. With that being said, I don't know if there's any other comments, Mr. Chairman, but I would absolutely move this bill.
Thank you for moving the bill. Assemblyman Calabrese?
I'd like to say a comment as well. I echo the statements that Assemblyman Karabinchik said. This is what we need in the state of New Jersey because a lot of times when you're in school, you've got to come out with a credential that's worth something in the workforce. And although a lot of us went to university, sometimes getting out into the workforce, it may not be easy to get a job even with a graduate degree. But having the credential program will really help them get those jobs, and that's what's important.
Thank you. Is there a second on moving the bill? Second? Okay. Questions? Yes.
I see the word shall applied to a county government. How is this not an unfunded mandate?
How is it an unfunded mandate? Is that what you said?
How is it not an unfunded mandate? We are directing the counties, the county colleges to do something. We haven't provided the funds for them to do so. Is that not an unconstitutional, unfunded mandate?
I don't believe so. I can look into it more for you, Mike, but I don't believe it is. We're asking the county colleges to collaborate with...
You're not asking. It's a shall.
Shall.
Shall is not an ask. It's a demand. And then when you have an unfunded mandate, that has to be funded. And so we just had this problem with our voter bill because we imposed a requirement on county clerks and it was declared unconstitutional. I submit you face the same problem here.
Thank you.
Are there other questions or comments? Seeing none? Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, so on A4, A43, we'll do one vote on the bill as amended. Assemblywoman Hanlon.
I love the idea, but because of the concern that Assemblyman Carroll just raised about the constitutionality of it, I'm going to abstain until that's determined.
Assemblyman Carroll. Assemblywoman Gove.
Same thing, abstain, please.
Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblywoman Jones. Assemblywoman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabinchak.
Yes.
And Chairwoman Jacey.
Yes.
Okay, and now we have the Senate version. Assemblywoman Hanlon. It's the Senate version, absolutely. Assemblyman Carroll. Assemblywoman Gove. This is the Senate version. Abstain, okay. Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblywoman Jones. Assemblywoman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabinchak.
Yes.
Chairwoman Jacey.
Yes.
Okay. 1 second. So what are we doing now? 3-8. 3-8. Okay. Oh, what do you want to do then? Okay. Moving on to Assembly Bill 3836. There are amendments on your packet. This bill as well, and we also have the the Senate counterpart. So this bill is entitled the Higher Education Citizenship Equality Act. As amended, this bill provides that a dependent student will be considered domiciled in the state for the purpose of determining eligibility for a state student grant or scholarship if the student meets the following criteria. 1, the student is a United States citizen. 2, the student and the student's parent have resided in New Jersey for a period of not less than 12 consecutive months immediately prior to the academic period for which the state student assistance is being requested. And 3, the student's parent or guardian provides the Higher Education Student Assistance Authority with documentation to verify income assets.
It's not my usual course of business.
I know.
But listen.
Gloria Soto, Rutgers University in favor, no need to testify. Fran Pfeiffer, NJEA in favor, no need to testify. Motion to move the bill?
Move it.
Second? Thank you.
Okay.
Roll call?
Assembly Bill 3836. We'll do one vote on the bill as amended. Assemblywoman Hanlon. I'm sorry, abstain? Okay. Assemblyman Carroll. Assemblyman Gove. Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblyman Jones. Assemblyman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabinchak. Chairwoman Jacey.
Yes.
Okay, and now we have the Senate version S200, S700 to R. Assemblyman Hanlon. Assemblyman Carroll. Assemblywoman Gove. Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblyman Jones. Assemblyman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabinchak. Chairwoman Jacey.
Yes.
All right. What are we doing next? That was what, 3836?
Yeah.
So,
All right. Next up is 2769. Revises and renames NJ Stars.
Okay. Thank you. As amended, this bill establishes the New Jersey Honor Scholar Program and provides for the program to be administered by HESA. Under the bill, NJ Stars program is renamed and is to become part of the New Jersey Honor Scholars Program. Although the name of the NJ Stars Scholarship has changed, the amount of scholarship of a county college student is eligible to receive remains the same. The eligibility criteria for the county college scholarship also remains the same, except the bill permits students to be eligible for the scholarship if their class rank at the completion of the 11th or 12th grade is in the top 20% of their high school class. Currently, a student must have a class rank in the top 15% of the class at the completion of 11th or 12th grade.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions on this one? And let's see, 27. Yes, this is it. Yeah, okay. Jenny Lamb? Jenny Lamb? New Jersey principals and supervisors in favor, no need to testify. Lynn Nowak, New Jersey Council of County Colleges in favor, no need to testify. David Rousseau, Association of Independent Colleges and Universities in favor, no need to testify. Fran Pfeiffer, NJEA in favor, no need to testify. And wait, Fran put in 2 on the same. Okay. Members, questions, comments? Motion? Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Madam Chair, is this going into effect immediately?
Good question.
Because it's a budgetary thing, and that's my concern, is where when, is it going to be for next year's budget, or what?
That's next year. There's amendments in the packet, and the effective date has been amended to 2020, September.
So next September? Yes. Okay.
Assuming it's funded.
If it's funded, yeah. Assuming if it's funded. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So if it doesn't get funded, it's no.
Right.
So that has to be funded.
Yeah, it is a lot today. Roll call?
So yes, these bills were amended, so we can do one. No. I'm sorry.
Motion? Second?
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll do one vote on the bill as amended. This is for Assembly Bill 2769, Assemblywoman Hanlon, Assemblyman Carroll, Assemblywoman Gove,
Yes.
Assemblyman Calabrese, Assemblywoman Jones, Assemblywoman Mascara, Assemblyman Giblin,
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabinchak, and Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay, and now the Senate version, which is S763, also amended, one vote as amended. Assemblywoman Hanlon, Assemblyman Carroll, Assemblyman Gove,
Yes.
Assemblyman Calabrese, Assemblywoman Jones, Assemblywoman Mascara, Assemblyman Giblin,
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabinchak, and Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. What are we doing next?
Right. This was,
Oh, you want to do the Thomas Edison one?
yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Give me a minute. All right. This is the one we held. Over here.
You need a secretarial degree here.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're now doing
Yes.
this is the one we held before, A5702, makes a fiscal year 2020 supplemental appropriation of $1.7 million for Thomas Edison State University. There are amendments on your packet to this bill as well.
And I understand John Thurber is here from Thomas Edison State University to testify in favor of the bill. Thank you. Thank you for attending.
Thank you very much. John Thurber.
Put your, red is on.
Thank you very much. John Thurber, Vice President for Public Affairs at Thomas Edison State University. Madam Chairwoman, let me first apologize for a misunderstanding about the appearance today. My colleague, Vice President Robin Walton, our Vice President for Government Affairs, is today receiving the highest honor in her profession.
Yes, she is, and I would like to go on the record again congratulating her.
Well, thank you very much. And our president, who would otherwise be here as well, is with her.
Right. They're in Atlanta?
I believe in New Orleans, but
New Orleans. Okay.
New Orleans. So they regret not being here, and I think especially regret having to send me in their place. But I do appreciate the chance to be here on behalf of the university. As you know, this supplemental appropriation request is very important from our standpoint to help us achieve the 95 authorized positions for our budget. Right now, we're in a freeze in terms of positions that we can hire to serve our students, the growing number of students that need those services. And it also would move us towards equitable funding based on the formula that was used in the appropriation originally. So for those two important reasons, this would move us significantly towards those positive outcomes.
Thank you for that. Did you?
Yeah, we did
Okay.
before.
All right. Members, questions or comments for Mr. Thurber?
Motion.
Seeing none. Motion? Second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
On A5702, Assemblywoman Hanlon. Assemblyman Carroll. Assemblyman Gove.
No.
Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblywoman Jones. Assemblywoman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin,
Yes.
Assemblyman Karavinchak, and Chairwoman J.C.
Yes, thank you very much for coming.
Okay. What do you want to do next? I don't think we have the order.
All right, what do we have to,
What do we have left? Move it to the first page. We could do. And do 541 and do these two.
okay.
Okay. All right. We're doing Assembly number 541 and the Sounder counterpart S765. So you have amendments in your packet to both these bills. A541. Under current law, HESA may pursue, without a court order, a variety of means to collect on a defaulted student loan pursuant to the NJ Class Loan Program. As amended, this bill provides that in the case of NJ Class Loan in default status, the authority may not refer the borrower to the Department of Treasury, Division of Taxation for set-off of individual liability, or notify the department and the Division of the State Lottery to withhold a borrower's lottery winnings if the authority and the borrower have entered into a settlement agreement.
All right. What's the number? 541.
765.
I do not see anyone having signed up to speak on this bill. Am I missing anyone in the audience? Seeing, no, thank you. Okay. Yes. Sure. Can you talk
So, well, the committee amended the bill to, one, remove language under the bill that required HESA to obtain a court order prior to pursuing certain collection efforts. Two, add language that prohibits HESA from referring any borrower with a loan in default status to the Department of Treasury, Division of Taxation, for set-off of individual liability, or notify the Department Division of State Lottery to withhold a borrower's lottery winnings if the authority and borrower have entered into a settlement agreement. And three, prohibit a borrower's delinquent or default status on an NJ class loan from serving as the basis for the denial, suspension, or revocation of the borrower's professional or occupational license, certification, or registration.
Yes. We have a representative from HESA here. Yes, would you like to come up? Do you have testimony that you'd like to present?
I do not, but I can answer any questions.
Okay.
Good question, then, because you had a chance to review these amendments.
Yes.
What is it? How would this change your present practice?
The amendment will ensure that any settlement agreements, if there is a settlement agreement, that we will not also do soil or lottery offsets for a borrower who has a settlement agreement.
So all this is requiring then is that you abide by your settlement agreements?
The settlement agreements don't always mention the offsets, or the lottery offsets, or the soil is not always mentioned in the agreements. So I think the concept is to ensure that we already do that, and that we continue to make sure that we don't do that in the future, that we don't do the offsets if there's a settlement agreement.
Ma'am, this totally changes the bill, of course. I mean, it turns it around completely, turns what was questionable into a seemingly a desirable one. But I would like to just comment briefly that the last thing the state of New Jersey should ever be doing is revoking someone's professional license because they're default on a loan. That should be preventing somebody from earning a living is the silliest way to go about enforcing a loan document I can possibly imagine.
Thank you, Assemblyman. Are there questions or comments for the witness? All right, seeing none, a motion to release, motion to vote on the bill?
Second.
Thank you.
So this is A541. We'll do one vote on the bill as amended. Assemblywoman Hanlon, Councilman Carroll. Councilwoman Gove.
Yes.
Councilman Calabrese. Councilwoman Jones. Councilman Mascara. Councilman Giblin.
Yes.
Councilman Karavinchak. Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay, and now the
Thank you.
Senate counterpart, S765, we'll do one vote on the bill as amended. Councilwoman Hanlon. Councilman Carroll. Yes. Councilman Gove.
Yes.
Councilman Calabrese. Councilwoman Jones. Councilwoman Mascara. Councilman Giblin.
Yes.
Councilman Karavinchak. And Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, what we got left? 1997. Okay. So next up we have Assembly Bill 1997 and the Senate counterpart 775. The Assembly Bill 1997, you have amendments in your packet to this bill. As amended, this bill establishes a tuition aid grant study commission which will examine the operation of the state's tuition aid grant program and develop recommendations for improvements to the program.
Let's see.
Anyone else?
Lynn Nowak, New Jersey Council of County Colleges, in favor, no need to testify. Fran Pfeiffer, NJEA, in favor, no need to testify. All right. Motion?
I'll move it.
Second? Thank you.
So the Assembly 1997, we'll do one vote on the bill as amended. Councilwoman Hanlon. Councilman Carroll. Councilman Gove.
Abstain.
Councilman Calabrese. Councilwoman Jones. Councilwoman Mascara. Councilman Giblin.
Yes.
Councilman Karavinchak. Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay, and now we have the Senate counterpart, 775, 2R. Councilman Hanlon. Councilman Carroll. Councilman Gove.
Abstain.
Councilman Calabrese. Councilwoman Jones. Councilwoman Mascara. Councilman Giblin.
Yes.
Councilman Karavinchak. Yes. And Chairwoman J.C.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, what do we have next?
Shall we go to 3680?
Is that where we are? 368, okay. Okay. So now we're at Assembly 3680 and the Senate counterpart 1834. This bill requires each public institution of higher education to post by August 15th of each year its budget for the upcoming academic year on the institution's website for public inspection.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
3680. All right. Motion?
I'll move it.
Second? Thank you.
Okay. On A 3680, Assemblywoman Hanlon. Assemblyman Carroll.
While I agree with this one, I still have some, but I mean, there's another shell in there and it's directed at public institutions. So I'm concerned it might be an unfunded mandate, so I will abstain.
Abstain. Assemblywoman Gove. Yes.
I
Assemblyman
believe just a comment. I believe they already published them pretty much. This is to make sure everybody does it.
Again, anytime we issue an order, we have to be careful that we don't make it to look silly.
Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblywoman Jones. Assemblywoman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karavinchak. Yes. Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
And now the Senate counterpart, 1834. Assemblywoman Hanlon. Assemblyman Carroll. Assemblyman Gove.
Yes.
Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblywoman Jones. Assemblywoman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karavinchak. Yes. Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay. And what do we have left? What do we have left here?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry. Okay. Next is Assembly number 5335 and the Senate counterpart S770. There are no amendments to these. So, okay, A 5335. Regulations promulgated by HESA restrict the number of semesters for which a student may receive an award payment under the tuition aid grant TAG program in a manner that precludes students from using a TAG award to support the cost of enrolling in the summer session. This bill provides that a student may elect to use a portion of a TAG award or an opportunity grant funded through EOF during the summer session following the academic year for courses that fulfill graduation requirements.
Thank you. Lynn Nowak, 5335. In favor, no need to testify. Representing the New Jersey Council of County Colleges, Gloria Soto. Rutgers University, in favor, no need to testify. Mike Wallace from NJBIA, in favor, no need to testify. Motion?
Second it.
Thank you. Roll call?
Okay, on A 5335, Assemblywoman Hanlon. Assemblyman Carroll. Sorry. Is it? Okay, sorry. Assemblywoman Gove.
Yes.
Okay. It's been a long day. Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblyman Jones. Assemblyman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabinchak.
Yes.
Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay, and now we have the Senate counterpart, S770. Assemblywoman Hanlon. Assemblyman Carroll. Assemblyman Gove.
Yes.
Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblyman Jones. Assemblywoman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabinchak. Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
Okay. And now you want to... And we have one more bill that's being waived on. Oh, we have 3990. It's being waived on. All right. So this is Assembly Bill 3990 with committee amendments that's being waived on. So under current law, a student, including a student without lawful immigration status, is permitted to pay in-state tuition at the state's public institutions of higher education if the student meets certain criteria. As amended, this bill provides that if the conditions are met, a dependent student whose parent or guardian holds an H-1B visa will be eligible for in-state tuition at public institutions of higher education.
Whose bill is it? Okay, Karabinchak. Okay.
So,
okay. Motion to move the bill?
I'll move it.
Second? Yes. Okay. Yes. Assemblyman.
It says, again, I apologize for not looking at this earlier. It says that a parent or dependent student whose parent is a guardian holds an H-1 visa shall be exempt from paying out-of-state tuition. Does the parent have to live in the state of New Jersey while holding that visa? It doesn't say that in the statute. Or is there a reference somewhere?
The student has to live here.
Wouldn't the parent, by definition, have to live here as well under those circumstances? Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Did we move it?
no.
Motion to move the bill?
I'll move it.
Second. Do we get a second?
Second?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do one vote on the bill as amended. Assemblywoman Hanlon. Assemblyman Carroll. Assemblyman Gove.
I'm abstaining as well.
Assemblyman Calabrese. Assemblywoman Jones. Assemblyman Mascara. Assemblyman Giblin.
Yes.
Assemblyman Karabinchak. And Chairwoman J.C.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. I believe that's it. Please, members, don't leave yet. We need you to sign all these papers. And I would like to say that in the event that we don't have another higher ed meeting during the session, which is possible, or we may be called because of KCOS, I would like to thank Assemblyman Carroll for his service, since you will not be rejoining us next session, and your persuasiveness and your candy and your sense of humor, which sometimes makes me laugh, but other times makes me cringe. I'm not a mathematician, so I can't give you a percentage, but I will tell you that you will be missed, and I wish you only the best going forward, and hope that you will stay in touch in some way.
Serve with you. I would like to, again, extend my invitation to the chairman to exert yourself to, I think we saw today that a couple of these things came up and there were questions that I think had to be resolved. It's been my experience throughout my full 24 years down here that the committees do not exercise the authority that they should, that the committee should engage in actual law writing rather than simply take the bills that are presented to you. And someone's got to carry that torch. It might as well be you.
I'll take that under consideration, okay? Yes, members, would anyone else like to bid farewell to our committee member before he has his last meeting? Yes, Assemblyman Giblin.
I'd like to wish Michael Patrick the very best. He's a student of good government in New Jersey. He's a young man, and there'll be other opportunities down the road. Persistence is the greatest virtue in politics. Remember that, Assemblyman Carroll. So I've seen people lose an election and come back, and I could recite governors and senators and Congress members and people like that. So hang in there.
Downside is you win an election, you have to serve.
Yes, Assemblywoman.
Yes, thank you. I think I've expressed myself to the Assemblyman before. I think that he had an important voice and didn't always agree with it, but I think it was a very important voice in the chambers, and I'm sure in your caucus. And I've been in and out of Trenton over the past many years, so it was a privilege to actually serve with you on the Assembly floor this time around. So God bless you, and hopefully we will continue to hear from you. I know we're Facebook friends, so I'm watching and listening.
And I also realize, listening to you speak, that this may be your last meeting as well, because you chose not to run again and are setting a great example in terms of choosing your path.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And
I will miss you terribly.
Well, I will miss you as well, and I think you've done a wonderful job chairing this committee. I know you were my daughter's first vote for an elected official in New Jersey when you ran for the legislature, so it was really wonderful to actually meet and work with a gal named Mila Jay-Z.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank
Assemblywoman?
you. And Assemblywoman Hanlon is leaving us as well.
Oh, wait. I didn't realize that. Wow. We should have a party or something, you know? I mean, there's so many of us. I mean, we should go out to lunch or do something like that, only there's no budget, right? unless Assemblyman Carroll would like to pick it up. I wish. What? Shall. Yes. Shall. Assemblywoman.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I just want to say to Assemblyman Michael Patrick Carroll, Assemblywoman Hanlon, and to my dear friend, Assemblywoman Egan Jones, that you'll be missed. Thank you so much for your service. It's been very interesting, being here in the state legislature and serving with you, and I've learned a lot, listened to a lot of your concerns about all the various issues, and I just want to say thank you, God bless on your future endeavors, and Merry Christmas.
Just want to re-echo, first of all, I want to thank Assemblywoman Hanlon for her service, first as a Monmouth County freeholder and recent years an Assemblywoman. She's certainly held the banner of Monmouth County high. To my friend Patricia Egan Jones, we served some years ago as surrogates, which was one of the best governmental jobs in the state, and we're back together again, and certainly wish you well and keep on doing what you're doing.
Yep. Yes. I can't say enough. My short time here, obviously, Mike's always had a lot of different ideas that he brought to a lot of people's attention, including my own, which is always an eye-opener in different senses. It was always a pleasure working with you in a lot of different ways. Same thing with you, Amy. And definitely Pat. I know when I first got here, she took me under her wing and showed me some of the ropes here in Trenton, which there is a enormous amount of ropes here. And I am absolutely going to miss you here. I'm going to miss you so much. And it was an absolute pleasure working with you and getting to know you even more. And I consider you a dear, dear friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Diane. I would also, I'll be seeing Amy and Michael Patrick in caucus more often. But again, Assemblywoman, it's been wonderful working with you. You have great ideas. You listen, and you're really there for the people of New Jersey. Thank you.
I would like to wish everyone a wonderful holiday season, and I'm probably jinxing us by saying we won't be seeing you before the holidays, but hopefully not, because I need the time. I have so much work to do. I'm still recovering from Thanksgiving. And with that, we are adjourned.